My name is Rory Houlihan. I ran for U.S. Senate last 2016 to stop the ticking time bombs so I could put our economy on track for a bright new day instead of all things ending. Well, I lost the election, not running, but the ticking time bombs are still here, if not more so. Let me educate you on the ticking time bombs and give you the rest of the story. Part 20b. The AAM is a poison pill for against Christian society. Before I go any further, let me go into the drowning man decision. If you were on the beach and you saw a drowning man, would you not run in to save him? But halfway there, you find out that you can barely swim yourself, and now you are drowning. Young women are at the beginning of their work careers and are therefore poor too, that they themselves are barely afloat. Can drowning people save a drowning person? No, neither can a poor young woman. But instead of just the young woman coming in alone, there were someone else, other people who also dove in to save the drowning man. Now, both she and the drowning man could be saved. My wife is a free spirit and believes wholeheartedly in choice. She doesn't have a Facebook page and will probably never have, so she uses my Facebook page. So you probably know this, but that day she quite forcefully said, "No first grandbaby of mine is going to be an abortion." My proudest of her was the fact that she had a good man to have her back. When we have a young woman's back, then we make a young woman's pro-life choice so much easier. That is why the decision to have an abortion is so often a joint shared decision. Because she cannot swim well, she absolutely needs other folks' help. The first place a young woman turns to is the man who got her pregnant in the first place. If the man steps up and says that he will have her back, then that is fine. But what happens if he denies involvement or says to her that he will pay for the abortion and nothing else? Has there been several conservative anti-abortion congressmen and a senator or two that have gotten an intern pregnant and told them to have an abortion? Believe me, it is easy to be anti-abortion when you ain't got no dog in the fight, but a whole lot harder when you do. Who else can the young woman turn to? Her family? Having gone through this decision myself, folks are willing to confide in me their own experiences because I'm not going to judge them. I know how hard this decision is. Most of the time, it is the young woman's family that the responsibility falls upon. It did to us. Understand, good men stand, rear ends run, and the bad boys run to the next ex. So he alienates his family from her because they have to deal with now the next ex. The boy's family do care, but they now have a new problem. Also, bad boys have a way of dragging everyone down with them. Problems don't create solutions, they only create more problems. Believe me. And his family is probably drowning themselves. So the young woman has only her family to turn to: her mother, her father, her grandmothers, her grandfathers. If they are strong, they will do everything they can to help. But folks get old and less able to help. Health problems come up, family problems come up. They themselves may be unable to help because they are poor. I understand this. I had this happen to me. I understand why. That is where government assistance comes to play. Understand The supreme Christian law is to get souls to heaven. We can't be just pro-birth. We must be pro-life and pro-soul. It's the soul that counts. It is not good enough to be making sure the fetus is born, but that the child is taken care of and put on the road to salvation. Moderate Democrats focus on programs that do this, but all-con Republicans focus on making our eyes evil against the young woman, which the Texas school data, with over 20 years and 1 million children of data, shows that their education has been a highway to hell for many a poor man. Should we not create a highway to heaven across our nation? Should not that be our goal? Democrats are for education and school breakfast, lunch, and after-school food programs. Feed the belly, feed the mind, feed the soul. Democrats are for outreach programs like bookmobiles and after-school programs. I am for expanding when we start education down to 2 years old to actively promote parent involvement in the classroom, especially during the first 5 years. This way, older, more experienced parents can help mentor young women to be better and better parents. I have seen for years how important the role of the old queens are to the church, and I wish this pattern to be carried on in our public schools. I am for the use of retirees in our schools so the youth of our country are exposed to generations of wisdom, and our elderly have the opportunity to remain leaders in our communities. I believe that Jesus is coming. I have read in the Bible that in the last days that 6 out of 7 churches will be corrupted. Could Ayn Rand's, Alcon's anti-abortion, pro-birth only movement be the reason? We Christians have taken her bait and have run with it. Understand, cantata suprema, the supreme law of Christianity is to get souls to heaven. The fetus is not in the judgment period, birth to death, and will not have a pure soul and go to heaven. The person whose soul is in jeopardy is the young woman's. Is not an ounce of prevention worth a whole pound of cure? Democrats believe in preventing young women from getting unexpectedly pregnant with contraception. Effective contraception saves young women from having to make the drowning man choice of having an abortion or not. Could preventing an unexpected pregnancy effectively save their souls? Democrats are for contraception instead of abortion. The Alcon businesses fight contraception, saying that it's against Christian values. I plan on having a young woman's back, just like St. Joseph did with Mary. Good men stand, rear ends run. Part 20p. And the AAM is a poison bill against our Christian society. You have a good and blessed day. Bye.